All right, guys, welcome back. It's fall, and we got another plow day coming up Saturday, this being Thursday. It's at Mike's up at Huxley, which is probably about a 40-mile drive for me, maybe. So, I took the 565 semi-mount off of this here said 856, put the 365 fully mounted on, because you just raise the 3-point, drive her on the trailer, set it down, lash everything down, and go down the road. So, the interesting thing about this is I decided to go ahead and put the subsoiler shanks on. I've got two. In conversation with Evan Austin, we decided that probably putting them on first and the third bottom is best. And I've got new bolts there because the shanks came with the Oliver fine thread bolts that they like to use, but they were so heavily rusted I couldn't get the nuts off, and I had to use the gas axe. Part of the reason I decided to shoot this clip is I think this is cool. This is the other shank that's going on, but you can see the remnant of the original tag. And I'm gonna take that off of there because I'm gonna move that all the way up for transport. I think I am going to deploy them and give them a try up at Mike's just to see how it goes. But he was on board with that when I talked to him yesterday. So yeah, I'm going to do a little more work on the plow. If you guys watched, I did some videos about this earlier this year. I'm going to wire brush and flap wheel that. I don't want dirt sticking to it. I could see that being a possible issue. And also, while I put new shares and shins and coulter blades on this and converted it to single arm coulter, I'm going to go ahead and shine those up a little more better maybe. The new shares that I put on that Alice plow, I didn't bother to shine them up, and the dirt stuck to them pretty bad. So I've got time today, so I'm going to do that. I may bring you back when I do some of this, I don't know. I'd like to have a new one of those, a scraper, and I might even look at just trying to set that so it's closer. We've got about a 3/4 inch gap there. If we could get that down to where it was within 1/8 of an inch, it'd help. We'll look at that. Finally got the the narrow front 45 back to going. I had to make a new alternator bracket for the top. When you convert these girls from generator to alternator, you got to get a little creative. They do sell a kit, you know, you can buy, and maybe that's a better option. I made my own. That's just my nature, but the one that I had made had broken again. So Mike Cooper had this part. That's actually off of a Ford of some sort. And then I made this. And man, I got lucky when I made those two bends. I got it right the first try. And that's good. I don't have a lot more of that. That's 1/4 inch by 1 hot rolled. I don't have much more of it around here, I don't think. That stuff is 1/4 inch, where we'll get digging our scrap bucket here. This is part of the original generator bracket, and it's been welded and broke and welded and broke, and that's why it's in the scrap bucket. And that was about 135 thousandths. So the 1/4 inch should be a lot better, even though I did have to take it back off several times to keep grinding clearance until we got everything to fit. I guess I'll bring you back when something is going to happen. All right, well, let's start with this. I took the wire brush and the flap wheel to that. It looks a whole lot better. Hopefully the dirt won't stick to it. I adjusted the scraper. Scraper's pretty sad. I don't know, I'll talk to Mike. He might have an in on something new old stock for that. I don't know. Looks to me like it wouldn't be that difficult to make. I don't know, that's 1.25 inch, 1.5 material. Wouldn't be that bad. I went ahead and cleaned the shins and shares up a little better. Hopefully we don't have too much. This one might be a bit of an issue. It's kind of pitted. That's a new share, but apparently it sat around and rusted. So anyway, got the 756 over there warming up. I got about 10 acres of stalks left to cut, and I'm gonna put a major push on to get that done today. It's in the mid-60s in the middle of November, so you know, you got to celebrate that. I shot that short with my phone. I think we're gonna call that good. We'll leave it here. Thanks for watching.